Ancient sages, the four Kumaras. The four Kumaras, that is Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara. We are the first children of Brahma, the creator of the universe. They were born out of his mind when he was contemplating the previous cycle of creation and resolving once again to project the universe out of himself. Like Brahma, these Kumaras were endowed with qualities like omniscience and omnipotence, and we are blessed with minds of the highest purity. They looked like 5-year-old boys, ever pure and innocent. But we are masters of the Vedas, entirely filled with the consciousness of God. Since their minds were very pure, the effects of delusion, such as misapprehension, sleep, laziness, hunger, thirst, heat, cold, and the like, never touched them. They were above all dualistic modes, hence averse to any kind of external manifestation. Thus, when Brahma, their father, instructed them to perpetuate the world by procreation, they refused and instead set forth to meditate. Tradition says that the Lord Himself had become these Kumaras to set in motion Nivritti Marga, the path of renunciation. Endowed with the highest knowledge, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara, we are ever calm and controlled, established in the oneness of all beings. The presence of the Lord's name welling up from within, harmonized with every breath they breathed. In a continuous flow, their organs of speech chanted the mantra Hari Saranam, refuge in the Lord. In their hearts, they meditated intensely upon the Lord's most auspicious form. Their intellects were ever established in the essence of that all pervading, undivided reality. Their ears heard only about the Lord and His divine play. They took turns in recounting and listening to Mahavishnu's unsurpassable glory, the all devouring Kala, that is death, did not dare to approach them. Their minds never strayed from the Atman to any sense object. It is small wonder that these Kumaras, boy sages, ever established in God, moved as they pleased, naked, free, and pure. The itinerant Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara used to travel from the depths of the universe, where dwells Sesanaga, the divine snake on which Lord Vishnu reclines, to the heights of Mount Kailasa, where Lord Shiva sits wrapped in supreme meditation. Their boyish manners and loving words inspired these deities to recount the Lord's play. On many occasions, they also took up the role of counselors and arbitrators. Once, when the Kumaras went to Vaikuntha, the abode of Lord Vishnu, they were stopped and ridiculed by the two doorkeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, who took them to be mere babies. The audacity of the keepers in not allowing the Kumaras to see the Lord naturally aroused their anger. They caused the gods to be reborn 3 times as demons, since they had behaved in a demonic way. At that very moment, the Lord appeared at the gate and began to appease the Kumaras. Suddenly, the clouds cleared from their minds. They became upset at having lost their self-control. But the Lord consoled them by telling them that it was He who had willed it. A great purpose was going to be served by the anger of these great sages. The doorkeepers were trembling with fear and apprehension. Not only were they going to be separated from the Lord, but they had to be reborn as demons. They prayed to the Kumaras for absolution. But since the curse could not be revoked, the sages granted them a concession. In each birth, they would be killed by Mahavishnu himself. Accordingly, Jaya and Vijaya were born as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu. The Lord incarnated as Narasingha and killed them. In their second birth, they were born as Ravana and Kumbhakarna and were killed by the Lord incarnated as Rama. In the third birth, they were born as Sisupala and Dantavakra and were killed by Lord Krishna. Thus, the Kumaras were responsible for bringing God to earth 3 times. The Kumaras once visited King Prithu, who was an extremely wise and competent ruler. After paying due respect to them, the king inquired, "Revered sirs, what brings the greatest good to humanity?" Sanat Kumara replied, "First, to delight in the self, which is one with God, or to love God. Second, to be without attachment to anything in the universe. The ego is the cause of ignorance. When the ego is subdued, spiritual consciousness shines forth in all its glory. The manifold universe, with all its pleasure and pain, vanishes like a dream. There remains only the unitary blissful consciousness of the Atman, which is one with Brahman. This has been the central theme of Indian spiritual tradition ever since. Once the blind king Dhritarashtra asked the Kumaras about the mystery of death. Sanat Kumara declared, "Pramada, that is inadvertence, verily is death." Sri Shankaracharya later found this so profound that he wrote a commentary on it known as Sanat Sujatiya Samvada. Sage Narada was proficient in all types of knowledge, but had no peace of mind. So he approached the Kumaras to learn the secret of joy. Sanat Kumara explained to him that all knowledge other than the knowledge of the Atman is limited and inadequate. He then proceeded to teach Narada the Bhuma Vidya, one of the greatest teachings of Advaita Vedanta, discussed in the Chandogya Upanishad in the famous mantra, "Yo vai bhuma tat sukham nalpe sukhamasti." Indeed, that which is infinite is joy. There is no joy in the finite. It is believed that the Kumaras sometimes come to earth to lead people to renunciation and worship, and to bless some highly devoted persons. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.